Ever feel like there's a book inside you just waiting to be unleashed? We're diving into the world of publishing today, but not the dusty old way you might imagine.
Oh, absolutely.
This deep dive explores how to make publishing work for you.
Okay, sounds good.
We're drawing insights from Adriana Rosales.
All right.
She's the CEO of RMPStudio,
Mm-hmm.
and her article, The Roadmap and Framework to Publishing Success at RMPStudio.
Right. Interesting.
And it all hinges on this idea of hybrid publishing. Have you heard of it?
I have, yeah.
It's a fascinating blend of traditional support and the independent spirit of self-publishing.
Yeah, what's fascinating is how this model mirrors the broader shift towards creative ownership. It's like the gig economy meets publishing authors get to call the shots on their creative vision, but they can still tap into established expertise
Okay.
for things like editing, marketing, and distribution.
That's a great analogy. It's
Right.
like having a whole team of specialists in your corner,
Yeah.
which you wouldn't necessarily get going it alone.
Exactly, and it disrupts the traditional power dynamics of publishing. For authors, especially those with niche expertise or stories that might not fit the mold of traditional publishing houses, hybrid publishing offers a way to connect directly with readers and build their own platforms.
Makes total sense. And it seems to be working. I mean, even established authors like Mel Robbins, the 5-second rule powerhouse, have gone this route. But what really struck me in Rosales' article was the breakdown of these 8 author categories. It's like she's created a roadmap for understanding not just what to write, but how to frame your message for maximum impact.
Yeah, and these categories are incredibly timely. They reflect what readers are hungry for right now. For example, visionary storytellers and change catalysts tap into this desire for inspiration and action, particularly in a world grappling with complex challenges.
It's like people are craving stories that don't just distract, but also empower them to make a difference.
Exactly. And then you have purposeful creators reflecting this growing need for authenticity and meaning. Readers, especially younger generations, can spot a marketing ploy a mile away. They want content that resonates on a deeper level from creators who walk the walk.
This resonates with me. Think about the books that have really stayed with you. They often come from a place of deep personal conviction, right?
Absolutely. And this desire for authenticity extends to the stories we tell about ourselves and our communities, which brings us to cultural curators.
Cultural curators. It feels like we're seeing a resurgence of interest in heritage and identity,
Yeah.
even as the world becomes more interconnected.
It is fascinating, yeah. And hybrid publishing is uniquely suited to these stories. It bypasses the traditional gatekeepers, allowing authors to reclaim their narratives and share them on their own terms. It's about amplifying voices that have often been marginalized or overlooked.
Right. This makes me think about the rise of independent publishers and bookstores specializing in diverse voices. It's like a whole ecosystem is emerging.
Yeah, and it speaks to a real hunger for these stories. Readers are increasingly interested in perspectives that challenge the mainstream, that offer a more nuanced understanding of the world.
And that leads us perfectly to innovative thought leaders, those pushing boundaries in their fields.
These are the authors who challenge the status quo, who are constantly seeking new ways of thinking and doing, and with hybrid publishing, they can get their ideas out there quickly, unconstrained by traditional publishing timelines.
This is essential in fields that are rapidly evolving, right?
Yeah.
Imagine sitting on a groundbreaking idea for months while you jump through hoops. Hybrid publishing allows authors to be more agile.
Precisely. It allows them to be part of the conversation, to engage with their readers in real time.
So we've got stories that inspire, challenge, preserve, and innovate. But what about the more practical side of things? This is where empowerment guides come in.
Exactly. This category is all about providing readers with the tools and strategies they need to navigate life's complexities, whether it's personal growth, professional development, or building stronger relationships. Think of it as actionable inspiration.
And this is where the accessibility of hybrid publishing really shines, wouldn't you say? Authors can respond to their readers' needs in real time, offering tailored advice and building a community around their work.
Absolutely. It creates a dynamic feedback loop, allowing authors to constantly refine their message and connect with their audience on a deeper level.
It's interesting, though, this drive to improve ourselves, to strive for something more. It often comes from overcoming adversity, which brings us to resilience architects.
These authors have stared down life's toughest challenges and emerged stronger. Their stories are raw, vulnerable, and deeply relatable.
And in a world that often feels chaotic and uncertain, those stories of resilience can be incredibly grounding. They remind us that we're not alone in our struggles.
They offer a roadmap for navigating difficult emotions, for finding strength in the face of adversity. It's about turning pain into purpose.
So powerful. And finally, we have connection builders. This feels especially relevant today with so much of our lives taking place online.
These authors emphasize the importance of authentic human connection. They offer strategies for building meaningful relationships, fostering a sense of belonging, and bridging divides in an increasingly polarized world.
It's like they're reminding us that despite our differences, we all share a fundamental human need for connection and community.
Precisely. Their work is about cultivating empathy, compassion, and understanding.
This has been an amazing overview of the current publishing landscape. So let's connect this back to RMPStudio. How do they fit into all of this?
Well, what struck me about Rosales' article is how RMPStudio seems to embody the ethos of hybrid publishing. They're not just a publisher, but a partner in their author's success. They offer a holistic approach, providing not just publishing services, but also mentorship, community, and ongoing support.
Their book coaching program is particularly intriguing. You know how daunting the publishing process can seem, especially for first-time authors? This program seems to address those fears head-on.
It's like having a personalized guide through the publishing jungle. They demystify the process, offering tailored guidance on everything from refining your story idea to navigating the complexities of marketing and distribution.
It sounds incredibly empowering. They recognize that publishing a book is a huge accomplishment, and they're there to celebrate and support their authors every step of the way.
It's a collaborative approach that empowers authors to take ownership of their work and build a sustainable career.
It really does seem like they've got their finger on the pulse of what authors need right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what makes this whole conversation so exciting. It's not just about the mechanics of getting a book out there, right?
Yeah.
It's about this whole ecosystem of support and resources that's available now.
So for our listener, maybe they've been dreaming of writing a book. What would you say is the biggest takeaway from our deep dive today?
The gatekeepers are gone. Like, it's no longer about waiting for permission to share your story. With hybrid publishing, you have the power to define what success looks like for you.
You're in control.
You are.
That's so important.
It is.
It's about finding your people, finding your community, and building your own path.
Yeah.
And as we learned from Rosales, with those author categories, there's an audience for every story. You might be a visionary storyteller, you might be a resilience architect, or somewhere in between.
Yeah.
But your voice matters.
It does. And that point that Rosales made about preserving cultural heritage, it really got me thinking, like, what stories are we each in a unique position to tell?
Yeah.
What kind of experiences or perspectives can we share that could really enrich the world?
That's a powerful thought to end on, I think. So to our listener, if you've been carrying around a story idea, let this be your sign, your permission slip to start writing. We need your voice.
We do.
That's it for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.